Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Trogdor. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Shout out to all the PPL fans who probably found me by now, because that's right, I am joining Division 2 of PPL. Super exciting for me. I've probably fanboyed about the PPL before. Always wanted to get into a league like this because of how cool everyone is, past, present, future, awesome dudes. I used to talk about stuff for the PPL, I've made videos for them from before. I thought that was a huge honor. So when I was asked to be like, hey, do you want to join D2? I was like, does the bear shit on the Pope? AKA, yes, of course. Like, come on. So, by the time that you're watching this, most likely the draft stream has happened, in which I don't even know at this point who's co-hosting it or whatever, but I'm, recording this before the stream happens so I can get this out ASAP. So you've probably seen my team, everyone else's team, everyone's rosters, what's going on, all that jazz. So there's, how do I say this? A lot of competition in the PPL Division 2 right now. Yeah, it's Division 2, but it's also like 2 is the best number in my opinion right now. A lot of people in D2 are coming over from PTL, but then again, a lot of people from PTL had already come over from PPL. There's a lot of, swapping going on between our two leagues. So my buddy Gray, who I'm running the PTL with, is also in D2. My buddy D-Train, who is basically one of the greatest of all time battlers in, within the reference frame of NSTL and PTL. He's here. Brendan, Dark Devil number 26, whom I, played a couple times. He's also in the Division 2 with us here. There's also Gem, who's in PTL, but like D2 of PTL, but we played in NSTL, and then also in the PPL, and there's probably someone that I'm forgetting to mention who's, there's also, there's a couple other people in D2 of PTL who are in D2 of PPL. Okay, a lot of twos and stuff going on, but you didn't come here to listen to me mumble about math or anything like that. You came here to talk about why I picked the Pokemon that I picked, right? Okay, let's get into it. First round, Jirachi. So Jirachi is it's the essence of like, I need a win, and I'm going to be a complete scumbag in order to win, so deal with it. That's basically why, the reason that I chose Jirachi is because someone sniped Celesteela from me. I wanted to use Celesteela. It's been such a headache for me to deal with in the past leagues. Every time it's on the opponent's roster is just like, oh my god, you're going to give me a literal aneurysm for dealing with this. Celesteela and Vaporeon's also one of those Pokemon. So I wanted to get, I had cores in mind. Obviously, getting a really strong Steel, strong Dragon, and Fairy are very important early on. So when Celesteela was gone, I was like, derp. I even, in the chat, I was like, I picked this, and it's like, Trog, that's already taken. And I'm like, are you hecking kidding me? So I grabbed Jirachi because, it's one of those things that it's basically a scumbag mon. It's also really versatile. It's got that steel type that I wanted, and it's just something that I'm comfortable using. The theme of my draft is I've used these things before. I know how to use them. They fit my playstyle, and I'm not gonna experiment with new stuff. I'm getting things that I know how to use and I know how to win, because that's kind of the goal, is to win, right? Okay, so yeah, Jirachi, got that. It's great mon all around, and it wasn't part of my original plan, but then I kind of formed a new plan around it. So next up, I wanted to get something, you may recall in PTL/NSTL, I didn't have very strong ground types. Well, okay, Zygarde doesn't count because it's it's a dragon type, and its secondary type is energy. So I wanted to get a good, basically I thought about going super expensive and grabbing Zygarde again, but I was like, no, I'm going to get Garchomp. Gashunk the Garchomp, because that's the sound that sharks make. So Garchomp is an awesome Pokemon. It's pretty fast, 102 speed, not too shabby, although speed creeping has become a bigger thing. Dragon ground type, so it hit those check marks that I wanted, and it's just an all-around great Pokemon. I've got a second Stealth Rocker, so Jirachi's a Stealth Rocker, Garchomp's a Stealth Rocker. Very offensive Pokemon, very threatening Pokemon, and can run so many great sets. Like, people, run crap like Subtoxic, people run offensive Scarf leads Stealth Rocks, and it's just all around, like, fits my playstyle perfectly. Can, bluff certain sets and do something else and all that jazz. Great Pokemon. I'm excited to use it, and it's just nice to have something that's actually a good switch into, like, Volt Switch and stuff. And Rough Skin's a great ability for all that jazz. So to round off my core, I wanted to get Clefable, but then someone, to again will remain unnamed, sniped me again. What was it, the same round? Yeah, like 2 picks before me, Clefable went, and I was like, I wanted that. So I thought, you know what? What's a bottom shelf, like, budget Clefable that can actually be good with this core? Well, do you remember how I had that scumbag plan with Jirachi, and how, like, 1 Serene Grace Pokemon is more than enough for any team ever in the history of... No. Entering Kissy Boots, the Togekiss, it's basically Scumbag 2.0. It's like, okay, you're going to take the things that I want. Well, I'm going to have 2 Serene Grace Pokemon on my team. Yeah. I'm probably going to make some people cry because of these. Like, I've got 2 things. I can do Scarf Iron Head, flinch everything, and Scarf Air Slash, flinch everything. And Togekiss also gets, like, Body Slam. But besides that, it's a great Pokemon. Like, it's really, really Spadef. It's got a pretty good special attack set. For something that I'm going to use primarily as a wall, it's not too slow. And it's just got a fantastic typing and, like, Fairy Flying. And it's going to be great for, like, you pit Outrage. And I'm like, not today. Yeah, these 3, they actually synergize quite well. Like, I've got like weak to ground, neutral, and then immune. I've got like weak to steel, like kind of neutral, and hits most steel types with like rough skin. It's like you're weak to ice. Togekiss is also weak to ice, but then Jirachi just eats those for days. And Togekiss gets hit by Thunderbolts and Lightning, and Garchomp is really, really frightening. So I think these 3 are just a really fantastic way for me to like start on my team. I can build something really, really nice and coherent around this, and it is super great for my playstyle. So next up, I got kind of yelled at for this pick because, like, I don't know, this is coming up is actually the cheapest thing, spoiler alert, the cheapest thing that is on my entire team. I wanted something this is just something that I wanted to use. I was like, okay, I know there are some people who want to use this Pokemon, and it's probably go round 5 or 6 because that's kind of early for it. But I'm just going to get it early on round 4, and that's Lycanroc Dusk. So my good buddy DFP got this Pokemon, and it's like one of the first time I've seen it used in draft format, and it is killing it. This is one of those Pokemon that it just like destroys entire teams on its own. The good speed stat, 110 speed, good attacks at 117, and the Tough Claws ability basically makes like that tripled, but then divided by another number. It's like, yeah, it's, it's a boost. Lycanroc has a signature Z move that is basically like Stone Edge on steroids, but it's really called like Splintered Storm Shards, but that's still the same kind of alliteration. So it's basically the same thing. And it's also boosted by Tough Claws. I get Accelerock, which is like the cool... Did I seriously make a typo in my draft slides? I'm just noticing I don't know how to spell Lycanroc. Wow. I'm like in charge of doing the entire draft slides for PPL D2, and I make this error. And I already fixed like a ton of other typos and stuff. Like, I can't even spell Gyarados correctly most of the time. And it's like my signature Pokemon. It's like my... it's my guy, But yeah, okay. So I'm just going to have to live with that the rest of my life because these are all like, yeah. So Lycanroc is definitely going to be one of my Z users. Or should I say Zed? How many Canadians are going to be watching this anyway? I mean, I'm repping a Canadian team. So yeah, I'll say Zed user. yeah, Vancouver, Canada. Oh, Canada. We like to say A to Z. So, yeah, Z user Lycanroc. Because between setup with Storage Sands, between my very good speed stat, between Splintered Storm Shards, Stone Edge on steroids, it's a fantastic Pokemon. And it gets some decent coverage too. So my team is looking really good, and everything is going, well, everything got wiped off the table in terms of my plan, and then I put some other chess pieces back on the table, and I thought, I've got the next thing in mind. I wanted to get like around this round because like I've got my Fairy Dragon Steel, I've got my Nuke, and now I just wanted some Fire, Water, Grass, and then I wanted to get like an Electric and some Bird Spam, and I think that would be pretty cool. So next thing on my list, I wanted to get my Mega Gyarados, and everyone knows how much I love that thing. At this point, I'll be having been using it in the PTL for a couple weeks because I just picked it up because it's just such a good Pokemon, and it was like fit in really nicely with this team. But the same person who took Celesteela, the same person who took Clefable, also took Mega Gyarados. Again, 2 rounds before I did. So I was visibly upset about this. I wasn't happy that my Gyarados got taken. So instead I just went with the next coolest looking water on the table, and I got Suicune. Suicune, who I still don't have a nickname for, which, by the way, so nicknames so far, Lycanroc is Awoo, Kissy Boots, Gashunk, because that's that sound that sharks make, and then VGC meta, because all people do in VGC is just flinch one another. So yeah, Gashunk, Kissy Boots, Awoo, and I don't really have a nickname for Suicune. I'm thinking like Surfboard, but yeah, Suicune is one of the like best dogs ever. It's such a good boy. I want to give it many pets and call it a good boy, even though it's technically, it's medium. Legendaries don't have, unless you're the Laddie twins or Heatran for some reason. Yeah, anyway, Suicune, good dog. Super, super bulky, respectively fast, decent special attack, and it's one of those things that just like wins games. Like Crocoon, like Vincoon, it's like Calm Mind is such a fantastic setup move. Unfortunately, its only recovery is rest, but that does help it from status and whatnot. So it's like you can't always toxic me to death. So it's just a fantastic Pokemon. It's like I needed some really thick things because you can see my team so far is mostly offensive with exception to Kissy Boots. So Suicune is my like really, really thick doggo, and bulky waters are just great for any draft. And it's another thing that it's like I've got how many things now that just kind of make people cry and destroy their hopes and dreams. Yeah, Suicune, cool. So I wanted to pair this thing specifically, the next thing I'm about to get. I wanted to pair it with Gyarados because I thought that would be really cool. Really nice offensive wall-breaking core. But, Gyarados is gone. But I was like, you know what? This thing's still on the table, and I really want to get it. I've used it before. It's like won me games and leagues in the past. That's Emboar, Notorious PIG. Emboar just hits like a truck. It's a super bulky Pokemon that has the Reckless ability, and its Flare Blitz has like no switch-ins. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm about to click Flare Blitz, and it's like I'll wait to see what you got. Like, looking at someone's roster, it's like no, I don't see anything. Looking at someone else's roster, it's like, oh, you've got Heatran, that's cute. I've got like Superpower, and I think this gets Earthquake. I'm not sure. Emboar is such a good Pokemon. I love that it's like both a bulky fire and a bulky fighting into one fat swirly pig, and it's kind of pricey for League, like 10 points. I've seen it be 12 points before, honestly. It's a little pricey for 10, but it's like, you know what? It's worth it because I need my pig, Notorious PIG. And yeah, just one of those things. I kind of wanted to pair this with Mega Gyara because, like I said, that would have been a really insane, like, offensive wall-breaking core, but instead I've just got this, and my team is, like, pretty offensive so far. Like, Suicune's the least offensive thing that I've gotten. Like, yeah. Anyway, so rounding out my Fire, Water, Grass core, I actually took a while to make this pick because there were quite a few there were a few grasses actually on the table at this point. So I had I had a while to figure out like what I wanted, and ultimately I decided on Roserade, QOT, the Queen of Thorns. Roserade, grass poison type, is really good at like hitting fairies really hard. It's great coverage with Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb. Got some fast like toxic spikes and spike sleep, because so like if I ever want to do like offensive entry hazards, and that technician ability is so nice because I basically get base 90 hidden power, so it's like any coverage that I need on Roserade if I'm running an offensive set. It's amazing. Roserade with a very respectable special attack set. I mean, base 90 speed, there's more to be desired, but it can still function as like a special wall breaker, since like offensive and defensive, like it's a fantastic offensive grass type and a fantastic defensive grass type. So I'm just super happy with this pick. I'm actually going to be making Roserade my second Zed user, because with the budget that I had, I didn't really have any other options. It was really weird, the Zed system, because it's like I gotta have Lycanroc, right? But that being the cheapest thing, is like I could pick only one other thing. I could have gone Emboar, but I was like, you know what, getting like the what do you call that, giant, the entire ocean of sludge and stuff. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't like, yeah, I didn't think really hard about my Zed selection, because it's just not the way I like to play. Whatever. So coming up next, I mentioned earlier I had the checklist of things that I wanted. I wanted my some zip zap electricity. I wanted some bird spam. But now another thing that I wanted is, because Gyarados was taken, I wanted a good dark type. I need to get like some offensive, like knockoff, pursuit, crunch. Dark types are so good. It's like you can run a Pokemon with 3 dark moves: Sucker Punch, Knockoff, and Pursuit. And it's like you're not wasting your time with all that stab. So I wanted a good dark type. I wanted some bird spam too. So who fit the bill? Honchkrow. I was like, hey, why not? I was thinking about Braviary, but then I'd be very limited in like how much more I could pick up at the end of my draft. So I thought, you know what, this covers a lot of my bases. Honchkrow is a fantastic Pokemon. In the past, when I've prepped for it, it would literally make me sweat, and I'm like, I have nothing for this thing. It could, if it runs like a nasty plot set, I'm done for. If it's like Scarf Moxie, I'm done for. So really, really good Pokemon. I've got my, offensive dark type. I've got my it can do some really good bird spam, and it's a pretty bulky thing too. I mean, defense, there's some to be desired, but it's got one of the actually everything on average. I've got a really high HP stat, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, you got Honchkrow, something I've always wanted to try out, and I think it fits my playstyle very well. And we're coming towards the end of my draft, so I'm looking at my options for a Mega Evolution that I could get. There are few things still left on the table, and obviously I wanted Gyarados at first, but I don't think that's really going to happen. How do I remember my thought process? I don't remember my thought process very well, but at the end of the day, I decided like I could get Mega Beedrill and just ruin everyone's day. And then I thought, well, the typing might be a little bit extraneous with Roserade already there. But then I was thinking, like, you know what? Who needs extraneous typings when, you got something that's super fast and offensive? And then I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, wait, what else is on the table? I ended up going with Mega Pinsir, Flappy Burb. Mega Pinsir is literally the best burb. So that exhausted my entire budget for a very good cause. Base 155 attack stat, Aerial Aid, Bug Flying, Swords Dance, Quick Attack, Return, Earthquake, Superpower, Bulky Thing. Oh my god, Pinsir is such a good Pokemon. Mega Pinsir, I'm calling it now, it's going to win games. It's going to be high up there on the MVP list, and I am super excited to just like wreck shop with this thing. So at the end of the day, it's like, who cares if I've got multiple flying types? I'm just gonna like spam birds. It's bird, burb, burb. Bird spam is gonna be fun for me this season. So yeah, Pinsir's there. and I think overall helps round out my entire team. I've got very good offenses. I've got my defenses are mostly like thick things, so it's like, you know, some of my most defensive things are like Suicune, Embor, Togekiss, Garchomp, Roserade. Everything can like take a hit and then hit back really hard, and I like that. I like that a lot. I've got a lot of versatility in my team. I've got a lot of ways that I am super comfortable just like pressing the balls to the walls button and just going to town. So super happy with the way that my draft turned out. I think I'm the only one who opted to go for a 9-mon draft. Everyone else went for like, I've got 10-10, 10-10. There are like 4 10-mon drafts and then 5 11-mon drafts. There are only 10 of us. So my draft is in no way like top heavy. There are some people who I see their drafts and it's like the last 4 picks are like 4, 3, 2, even 1 budget, and I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna have like a super top heavy team and just have some spam at the bottom. I don't like that. I'm just gonna go with a really solid like 9 mons that I'm super comfortable with. Each of them could come any week. There's no like, oh, you've got Yanma, you're never gonna bring that. It's like, oh, you've got like, you know, whatever 2-point Eviolite random thing that could come. No, everything is super threatening, everything is super coherent, and everything, I'm super cozy using this. So that's the draft. I'm very excited to play with this roster, and I'm super excited to be playing in the PPL. I've already looked at like some of my matchups, and I know exactly how I need to build to beat certain players, because again, it's all about being comfortable with what you draft. You can't pick something like, oh, that thing has really good stats, or it's like, oh, I need a spinner, I'm gonna just get this budget one, or it's like, oh, I need something that's a grass ground type, I'm gonna pick up that pile of garbage. Yeah, Torterra, you're bad. Don't ever draft Torterra, guys. So instead, I'm just using things like, these are a solid bunch and I know how to use them, and I'm going to use them to the best of my ability. So that's my mindset going into the PPL. I'm super excited about all this. And yeah, if you are new to my channel, which I'm sure there are a lot of you who are coming in to watch PPL content, hit me up with that subscribe, you know, because I've got a lot of exciting content from the PPL coming up. I've got a lot more, well, I think the PPL and the PTL, the battles are overlapping, and I don't even know which one finishes first, because PTL, we've got so many battles, it's such a long league. But anyway, a lot of fun content for PPL fans to come and check out. Like this video if you liked it, which if you didn't, I don't know, maybe you're just not into Pokemon and searched this video because you searched like insanely swole dragon stomps entire village of peasants, and it was just like Trogdor, and it's like, yeah, that's me, but I haven't uploaded any of my peasant stomping videos. But anyway, comment down below what you like about my team, and if you're, you know, excited to see what I've got in store. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Again, everyone, if you're new, super happy that you decided to check out this video. Super hyped about the season. So yeah, I'll see everyone in week 1 of the PPL. All right, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.